there. It looks like we're streaming okay. This is Tina Thompson with the Child's Place CASA. It's not live. Yes, there we go. Sorry, we weren't going live on one of the platforms. We are going to be on YouTube, on Facebook, and on our donation site, which is go.rallyup.com. So we're going to stream on all those sites at the same time. Fun, right? Technology is just incredible. We are here celebrating our 25th anniversary at a Child's Place CASA. And I thought for something different, excuse me, something different, we would walk through the years and kind of see what was going on then. If it looks like I'm going back and forth, it's because I've got several different monitors. So please excuse my tennis head activity. So, excuse me. A Child's Place CASA 2025. Do you remember the year 2000? Remember how the world was going to end and our water was going to go off because we didn't know to put in the year 2000 when we were writing it? That was a big thing with the Y2K. Survivor started in the year 2000. That was the first one. The Sims was one of the popular games that came out that year. And then, of course, we all remember this. Wait for it. Bring back memories. Those that are not a part of or don't remember the year 2000 because they're too young, that was us dialing up. You used to use your phone line to connect to the internet, and you had to dial up. It wouldn't work without dialing up. So if somebody called while you were on the internet, too bad, it wouldn't be answered. You didn't even know that they called. There was no answering machines back then. There was no call waiting. You just didn't hear. What happened at CASA in the year 2000? Well, nationally, there were 174,000 children who were served by over 47,000 volunteers, and there were 900 program offices across the United States. That was back when a Child's Place CASA started. Rhonda Stubbs and Leslie Holden moved from wherever they were to this area, to the Foldsby area, and they began working with Brooke and Hancock County. They moved here with no promise of money. They had no grants set up. They had nothing. They just moved on faith. They had no promises, and they had no job. They just moved here because they thought it was really important, and this was an important place to put CASA. On February 10th, 2000, the first children in Brooke and Hancock County were given a voice. Their first 3 CASAs were sworn in. All right, now we're going to go back to the year 2021. I'm sorry, 2001. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's probably the thing we remember the most about 2001. And we all have stories. Those of us who've lived through it have stories about where were you when you found that out. And for those who don't know, that's the 9/11 airplanes that smashed into the 2 towers. At that point, we had Sony Walkmans, but in 2001, they were out, and digital music became a thing. We have gone so far from the Apple iPods. Shrek came out in 2001, and it was the first computer-generated movie. So that's kind of cool. It's gone on to do a lot more. We said goodbye to Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. That was the very last filming. It was in 2001. Wikipedia was born. Google Earth was born, and Xbox was born. There's some really big names, important names to us now. It's weird to think of them just starting out. Fast and Furious was one of the top movies. Remember Fast and Furious, we'll get back to that on different days. Harry Potter first movie came out, and Monsters Inc. was Disney's big movie for the year. Back at the CASA office was located in Leslie Home in Wellsburg, West Virginia. Please don't try to find this house. It is neither Leslie's home nor is in Wellsburg, West Virginia. I just picked one at randomly so that I could put a house up here. They then moved to Charles Street, and this is an actual picture of the building that they were in for the longest time. For a lot of years, they were in that building, in that spot. Back to 2002, Walmart.com came online. Amazon had been online for a while, and Walmart said, we need to cash in on that. That was also the year of the Enron scam. For those who remember, it was a giant Ponzi scheme, but it was so popular and it defrauded so many people that it made national news. It was also the year that the European money started, the European credit union, that's it, European Union started. It was the year of the Olympic scandals in Salt Lake in 2002, and that had to do with the skaters and how the judges were ranking the skaters and who was ranking the skaters. They felt that some of the judges were being completely biased, and it was unimpressive. Our first class of volunteers were working hard. That would be Kathleen Banks, Kim Chaplin Byers, and Donna Latimer. Those were the first class of people sworn in 2000, and they were just working their little selves off. We went from 3 volunteers to over 200 volunteers, doing various things from baking cookies to fixing the new location, which we'll talk about in a later year. What was going on in 2003? The first Call of Duty came out, and for some of my kids, that's an important one. LinkedIn started, which I didn't realize they were that old, but they started in 2003. And MySpace came out in 2003. They were a big deal for mostly for teenagers. I also added this one. Skype came out in 2003. Skype was set up to be the Zoom. I mean, it was all there. Everything was set for it, and it didn't take off when we ended up going with COVID and having to link. Zoom took over, and I think part of that, and this is my bias showing, part of that might be because at some point Microsoft bought Skype, and I think they didn't do it any favors. The Da Vinci Code was a big movie that year, as was Finding Nemo, and Kill Bill became a cult classic. The Challenger blew up. For those of us who were around, again, it's one of those, where were you when you heard about that? Now we're going back to CASA. At that, in the year 2002, Rhonda was working on making a difference. One person can make a difference. Rhonda Stubbs did. The volunteers did. Now it's your turn to make a difference. You can donate. You can go to go.rallyup.com/show CASA Love 2025 and donate there. You can donate on our webpage. You can send a check to the office. For those of you who are able to scan this, it will take you to the CASA website, which is Child Place CASA, no A, childsplacecasa.com. Or as I said, rally up, show CASA Love 2025. And if you want to become a volunteer, if you want to find out how you can help, you can call Rhonda at 304-737-4444 or email childplacecasa@comcast.net. And that will end our slideshow presentation. I did want to mention a couple of things. We are going to have a 25th anniversary party on Sunday, February 9th. Now that's right before the Super Bowl, so you won't interfere with that. Although, to be honest, I'm not sure how many people in our area are excited about it. They're calling this the Super Bowl that nobody wanted to see. But it's the Eagles and the Chiefs. You can come join us first. We're having a hot chocolate bar. We have styrofoam cups, should you decide, but we are also selling commemorative mugs that you can refill for free. And we will have little stuffed animals with CASA shirt on it. And we're going to have a contest later on in the year with those. The other thing you should know is that we're having a contest now. You can put your answers here on Facebook or here on YouTube or here on go.rallyup.com. The question is, how many kids has CASA served in the first 25 years of being CASA in the Valley? Keep in mind that they are now 3 different counties. 10 years ago, we added Jefferson County to the Brooke and Hancock County. So there are 3 different counties. What you should know is that it's going to go to the end of 2024. So at the beginning of 2025 will be where the contest is. So go ahead and put your answers in the comments. The person who comes closest is going to win a prize. You do not have to be present at the hot chocolate event, but we will be announcing at the hot chocolate event who won. So again, whoever comes closest without going over, because I've been doing so many numbers, I can't vote, but you can. So get your guess in here. You can win a prize. It'll be great. And if you have any questions, look up our website. Check out the go.rallyup.com site. Look at our YouTube pages from previous years. I also really, before I forget, I want to thank Valley Converting. They are always the first person to send back their responses and are always willing to sponsor us. So, when you make your donation at Rally Up, you get to vote on who gets to be our Valentine of the Year. Last year, it was Basil's Sports Bar and Grill. So let's find out who it's going to be this year. I'm excited to learn, and I want to thank you all for joining us. I think I'll end the stream right there. It went a little bit long, but hey, have fun, and I will see you tomorrow.